As the ANC gears up for its elective conference in eThekwini, supporters of Zandile Gumede are adamant that she is capable of leading the governing party's biggest region, despite criminal charges against her. But she is expected to face a tough challenge from the current speaker of eThekwini municipality, that's Thabani Nyawose, who also wants the position of chairperson. Let's speak to our colleague now, Nkosikhona Duma, who joins us from the eThekwini. It's one of the conference halls there, Nkosikhona, where this conference is going to be taking place. And talking about these two candidates, you and I can speak now definitively about the competition between Zandile Gumede and Thabani Nyawose, because the coordinator says they have been monitoring the sort of language from branches of the ANC and nominations somewhat, and it does appear that the two indeed will be going head to head. Zandile Gumede had to be recalled at some point by the ANC as mayor of eThekwini because of poor performance. That is just cut and dry. So what is she likely to bring to the table? Or perhaps that question should be reserved for the man you're going to speak to say, what will he do differently to Zandile Gumede if indeed he's the one who comes up tops this weekend?
You're absolutely correct, Paul. In fact, I was just exchanging a few words with Mr. Thabani Nyawose here, talking about this particular campaign. It's been almost 3 years. In fact, yeah, it has been almost 3 years for both these ANC groupings campaigning for this position. The term of office for the leadership that was appointed, which Zandile Gumede led, ended in 2018. And the ANC in eThekwini hasn't been able to have a conference since 2018, so it's now 2022. So you can imagine what it has done to the psyche of those behind these particular campaigns. But Thabani Nyawose here, who's being supported by a grouping calling itself the Pursuing Renewal, Rebuilding and Unity. He's here with me, and this is a conversation that I just want to pick up with him. Mr. Nyawose, it's been 3 years of hectic campaigning, of people calling on your name. Let's just perhaps start there before we talk more about what your offering is. How have you been and how have you handled this particular time, given, of course, the lingering threats around KZN politics?
Yeah, it's true. Yes, it's something that has been very difficult for me as a candidate and those who are in my campaign. To be in a campaign for 3 years is very, 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 very hectic and exhausting. But we had to be strong psychologically so that our message that we communicated when we put together this campaign, we are consistent, so that branches continue to believe in our message, continue to believe in us. And we are humbled that for 3 years we've been together with them, supporting us. And today we are starting our conference, hoping that it will be smooth and it will be peaceful as well.
So the faction supporting Zandile Gumede is mainly associated with what they call RET. It's called an RET faction. Their slogan is unity and continuity. They're saying that people who led the eThekwini before should comprise parts of the new leadership. The ones supporting you are saying renewal, rebuilding and unity. Talk to us about your distinct offering to the ANC in eThekwini.
You see, we decided that after Newzroom conference, when we come back to our region, all of us, because we went to a conference divided, we said we have a responsibility to unite our branches as the eThekwini region, because there are lessons that we learned in Newzroom. Going there to be divided, we were a little bit embarrassed as a province, but we took upon ourselves as branches from eThekwini to lead the project of renewal, the rebuilding and the unity of the ANC. Hence, you see, even to date, we have been very consistent in talking about peace, forgiveness, reconciliation, renewal, rebuilding and unity of the ANC.
Yeah. Well, but Mr. Nyawose, many people are very pessimistic. They don't have hope that the ANC in eThekwini will unite to the extent that we'll see the ANC being in its former glory where it led the eThekwini municipality. I'm saying this right now because you are also the Speaker of the eThekwini Council, and we saw your party being embarrassed, to say the least, failing to push through the appointment of a municipal manager that has been favored by the ANC, and many are saying that this is what we're going to have to see going forward, that the ANC shame will no longer carry the power of choosing key appointments in the municipality. Are you confident that post this particular conference you will shake hands and move on and have good times with the other factions supporting Zandile Gumede?
Yes, I'm confident because soon after election, led by the NEC and the PC of the ANC, there were sessions where branches of the ANC reflect on our poor performance in the last election. Now we know where are the problems. Now we know where to start to fix those problems. I'm confident that after this conference, we're going to reconnect with our lost base and the ANC support will grow. Next election, definitely the ANC will win. I'm confident.
So where do we start?
We start by emphasizing on issues of unity. Once we have a united ANC branches and structures, it's very easy to focus on service delivery, because that's where things went wrong. In some part of our city, our people were complaining about poor service delivery. They were telling us about issues of water, housing, issues of waste removal, that where people were telling us that, no, you have not done well on these areas, of which we accept, and we have apologized openly to them, and we have committed ourselves to address those issues moving forward.
Okay. What does this conference mean for the upcoming ANC elective congress in the province and as well as nationally? As one of the people who are purported as leaders, I was talking to Ntlani Pontombela yesterday, and he was saying that part of the issues that you have to do at this particular conference is to reflect on the state of the party. So talk to us about the significance of this conference for the upcoming elective conferences at a provincial and national level.
One of the things that they've learned in the ANC previously, you can work hard to unite branches, to unite regions, but once discussions for the provincial and national leadership are opened, that process has a tendency to divide regions. But this time, we said we are very much jealous with the unit we have built in our region. We don't want to enter that space in such a way that will cause division in the region. What we want to see, whoever wants to engage us on the provincial and national leadership, we want to start by discussing the state of our movement, discussing our performance in 2019 general elections. We also want to discuss the performance that we displayed as KwaZulu-Natal in 2017 National Conference. We must ask that question whether are we happy with the way we displayed ourselves? We are happy with the way we performed in that conference. But those issues will make us to start a discussion on the provincial and national issues, informed by the lessons we have learned before. This time, we don't want to be divided by provincial and national issues. We are more concerned about uniting, strengthening our branches as eThekwini, and lead the campaign of uniting the ANC in the province and also nationally.
Mr. Nyawose, as we get to the end of this particular interview, there were ahead of this conference, there were always those threats of people thinking that we could see bloodshed as people work towards the conference. But to many people's surprise, we haven't seen that. At least you have said that. I know you lead a council where you said 75% of the councillors have received one threat or the other. But for many people, especially those who work here and observing processes, it hasn't been as dangerous, at least to the lives of contenders, as we have seen. What do you think was the contributing factor to that?
The contributing factor were open engagement between myself and Zandile Gumede and all other comrades who are involved in the campaign, including branches. But the second thing that contributed a lot are the guidelines that were developed by the NEC. the manner objections, disputes has been handled from a branch level to the region, to province, to national. Normally, conferences are disrupted by the management of the processes. This time, the NEC and the PEC, they've done a wonderful job to handle objections and dispute decisions taken by those structures. Branches easily accept them. Hence, we have a peaceful, smooth process to leading to a conference.
Well, Mr. Nyawose will definitely be catching up with you throughout the conference. We know that Newzroom Afrika is, of course, your channel of choice. That was Mr. Thabani Nyawose. He's, of course, one of the contenders for the upcoming eThekwini Regional Elective Conference. He has said that, the ANC at a national level has played an important role here in curbing possible violence or violence that many people thought would accompany this particular conference. And so I guess that is a positive development out of this. We hope that, throughout the conference, we will see stability, especially pertaining to the issues of safety and security. I'll just add in this one detail, because it's been very interesting covering this conference so far. Many people are looking at this. In fact, ANC officials have told us that they are expecting about 400 delegates to participate at this conference. At least over 90 branches have been approved, have been cleared for participation. But interestingly, about 300 journalists have also been approved for participation at this conference. So quite a significant conference it is.
That tells you about the importance of the eThekwini region, Nkosikhona Duma, and you are certainly going to be among those journalists accredited to cover that conference. For me, though, I've got to tell you, it is the confidence with which ANC leaders are speaking about the processes leading up to this conference and, in fact, the process of verifying the people that are going to be participating in that conference, because that's where ANC conferences always get stuck, at registration phase. People arguing, no, this is not the delegate, the correct delegate. This person is a ghost delegate. They were not supposed to be here. So issues like that, we're going to be watching very closely as to how well managed they are going to be. We watch with a keen eye.